a screenshot. So they have given us the resource usage per unit of each activity. So we have activity 1, activity 2, then the amount of resources available. Now the resources are here. We are given resource 1, resource 2, resource 3, and what is available: 10, 18, and 20. Then they have given us the contribution per unit. Activity 1 contributes 2,000, activity 2 contributes 3,000. So they want us to formulate a linear programming model for this problem and then use the graphical method to solve this model, and then to find the resources of each activity that maximize the objective function. So basically, this is a typical linear programming problem. This is a typical linear programming problem. So, of course, activities, at times they may give you products A and B or product X and Y. For resources, at times they may give you raw materials, labor, machine hours, and so on. Okay, so you may find that one of these resources is actually maybe we may say one of these resources is maybe labor. You may find that these other resources may be the raw materials. Okay, they may be raw materials. You may find that this one is machine hours. Machine hours. So this one we can say this one's what is available may be 10 hours, and these ones we can say what is available maybe 18 kilograms, and then these could be also hours, okay, that are available. So you may find that activity, actually we shall let our activity X, I mean 1BX, maybe product, can say that is product X, or we can let it be A, and activity 2 we can let it be presented by B, something like that. So we are showing what A utilizes of the raw materials and what B utilizes of the raw materials, and then the contribution is the profit. So linear programming basically I would say is a quantitative method or quantitative technique that helps farms to maximize the scarce resources. Okay, it is a quantitative technique that helps farms to maximize resources. So that is basically what I meant. It is a quantitative technique that can be used by a farm to determine the optimum usage of scarce resources in order to maximize profits or contribution. Now, of course, it is well known that resources are scarce in nature. Resources are scarce in nature. Even when you look at time is a scarce resource. Raw materials are scarce. Money is scarce. Land is scarce. Capital is scarce. So yes, the resources are scarce. It doesn't stop us from finding the best way to optimize the usage of the scarce resources in order to maximize profit, because the end result is to maximize profits. Now, the linear programming approaches are basically two. Okay, linear programming approaches. These are basically two. We have the graphical approach, the graphical method. We have the graphical method, and then we have what we call the simplex method. We also have what we call the simplex method. So these are the two major approaches to linear programming. Now, all these ones, of course, you find that they are fully discussed in the lecture notes. I think I tried to put these ones across. Just for you to be able to see. The discussion is given, but of course this is a more practical, more hands-on kind of unit. It's more hands-on, but the discussion, the theory is given in the notes. You'll be able to find it and follow through. Then of course we talk about the features of linear programming problems. Not all problems can be solved using this technique, so you must look at the features of the linear programming problem. So in the discussion you find that we are talking about the fact that the problem must be capable of being stated in mathematical terms. All factors involved in the problem must have a linear relationship. That is to say, to double output, we have to double the labor input. Then the other feature is that the problem must permit choices between alternative courses of action. Okay, must permit choices between alternative courses of action. And then we are saying that there must be one or more restrictions on the factors involved. For instance, restrictions on labor hours and materials and so on. So this is what we are talking about, the scarce resources. And of course, we are saying that in solving linear programming problems, the linear programming problems are mathematically expressed by two distinctive equations, what we call the objective function and the equations of constraints. The objective function is what the firm seeks to achieve, like maximizing profits or minimizing costs. So you find the maximization problems and then minimization problems. Then the constraints or the limitations are those scarce resources that I've just talked about. Things like labor hours, materials, machine hours, capital, and so on. So as I've mentioned, the linear programming approaches are mainly two. We have the graphical method where we use the graph, and then we have the simplex method. So under the graphical method, which we are going to use today, the steps are very, very simple. Okay, we are going to explore those steps in this particular question. Now, step number one in the linear programming approach, in the graphical linear programming approach, step number one, usually, ideally, you're going to determine the objective function. So as I've mentioned, the objective function would ideally be maybe to maximize profit or to minimize costs, maximize profits or to minimize costs. So what do you think is our objective function here? Are we maximizing profit or minimizing costs? Maximize profit, correct. So we are going to maximize profit. So the profit, ideally, that is the P. I will say P is equal to activity 1 gives us a profit of 2,000, and activity 2 gives us a profit of 3,000. So I'm representing activity 1 as A and activity 2 as B. So that is 2,000. Oh, hope I'm not getting it wrong. 2,000, yes, 2,000 A plus 3,000 B is the objective function. So the objective function is to maximize profit. Contribution is a version of profit. So that is our objective function. So next, after getting the objective function in step number 1, then we move into step number 2, where we determine the equations of constraints, or the functions of constraints, or simply the inequalities. Get the inequalities. Okay, the inequalities, as I've mentioned, we have resource 1, which I called labor. Okay, resource 1, these are the resources here in the question. I talked about resource 1, which I've labeled as labor, resource 2, which I've labeled as raw materials, resource 3, which I've labeled as machine hours. So we are going to look at those three inequalities. Okay, so we have resource 1 inequality, then we have resource 2 inequality, then we have resource 3 inequality. So when you look at our question, you see that for resource 1 we use 2 units of resource 1 on A and 1 unit of resource 1 on B, and they are available at 10 units. Okay, available at 10 units. So that is 2, 1, 10. Okay, that's what I'm going to put here. We have 2A plus 1B less equal to inequality, less equal to. Then for resource number 2, if you look at our question here, resource number 2, we are using 3 on A, 3 on B, 18 is the maximum. So that is 3A and then 3B, maximum being 18, less equal to 18 right there. Then when it comes to resource number 3, we have 2 on A, 4 on B, maximum is 20. So that is 2, 4, 20. Okay, we have 2, 4, and then 20 right there. So those are the scarce resources. Those are the scarce resources, and those are the functions of the constraints as per our step number 2. Now we also need to add on the non-negative. We have what we call the non-negative constraints. Okay, yeah, no problem. So meaning that we are not going to produce less than 0. We are not going to produce less than 0 for A and B. So we shall not have negatives on A and B. Don't expect negative A and negative B. So that is our step number 2. So we move into step number 3. Down here, step number 3, where we are going to now plot. We shall sketch the above constraints on a graph. We shall have a sketch. Okay, we are going to sketch, or I can simply say plot the above constraints on the graph. So the constraints in step number 3 are plotted on the graph. But before you do that, you need to have a sketch. So I'm going to share the graph for this particular question from one of my students, so I want you to go to the next video that discusses the plotting of the resources 1, 2, 3.